here's Powell River. Cumberland Gap is up that way. And if you look on the map of this Powell River, it just squiggles and squaggles and squiggles and squaggles. And I think it eventually heads itself down to Knoxville. I was reading something up there before coming off the mountain. There's an iron furnace, an old iron furnace, where they mined ore and heated it up and turned it into ingots, and eventually got it down here to the Powell River, and then floated it on down to Knoxville, and then from there it went to wherever it went. So now up here, Tazewell and New Tazewell are up this way, but I'm not, that's up and around, but just right up here, I think that's, right around the corner here, there's a road, and I'll be turning right, and then following a series of roads that zig and zag, little backcountry roads, it looks like, that zig and zag to the to that cemetery, and hopefully I get there before 4 o'clock, because that's supposedly when the rain's going to start. Hopefully it'll hold off on me, because I got a little late start. Get this, I woke up early to get an early start, and I ended up getting a late start. Pretty rolling countryside on this climb up from the river there. But, do I have to be careful here? Am I going through here and they're going to ask me if I'm a friend of the Hatfields or the McCoys? No, that's not going to happen. If you know your history, I don't, but I looked it up. The Hatfields and McCoys were on the Kentucky-West Virginia border. So one family lived on the West Virginia side, and the other lived on the Kentucky side. I forget what side of the stream it was on. If you know, let me know in the comments, but I'm not there. Oh, but I did want to talk about Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. So, unfortunately, Davy Crockett is not from this part of Tennessee. He's from, although I'm pretty east into Tennessee, he's even further east. I think the place where he was originally from was Limestone, Tennessee. And you probably know all the folklore about him, about being the outdoors man and all that sort of stuff. But politically speaking, he was state representative in the House of Representatives to Tennessee in 1827 to 1831, I think. And that was actually the first year of, I think that's the first year of when Tennessee was a state. In 1831, he lost because he was against the policies of Andrew Jackson. And I guess in a loose sort of way, comparing how a lot of people treated Andrew Jackson, and his wife too, called her a bunch of names. I won't go into it, but it has to do with sleeping around for money. Anyway, Davy Crockett was against Andrew Jackson, and so Andrew Jackson, of course, won in that election, and Davy Crockett got beaten. So then a couple years later, in the next election, Davy Crockett ran again, and he won. And then in 1835, in the next election. He lost. And that's when he got all fed up and angry. So he hightailed it out of Tennessee and eventually made his way over to Texas. And he was there at the Alamo, the last stand of the Alamo, and you know, those guys all died there, and some of them were executed by the Mexicans, including Davy Crockett. So even though he was died early in life, it was because he was shot, not because of any natural causes or anything like that. So Davy Crockett, Tennessee, and Texas at the Alamo. Hey, maybe we'll have to see him on a future trip. Here's an unexpected treat, a dirt road. I wasn't expecting it. The fact that it's dirt was not on my gravel map. I like it, I like it, I like it. This is called Vancle Road. So hopefully it's dirt. I stay on it till it ends and then turn left, turn right. So hopefully it's dirt for a while. Let's see around the corner. Yeah, I got dirt for a while, all right. Palmer's Junction Road. I wasn't supposed to be here until tomorrow. But it's one of those nothing happens by chance type of things. I was walking along the road there pretty close to my camping spot at the cemetery tonight. And this car passed me. We waved at each other. And it was a couple driving in their car, and they went along, and then all of a sudden I come down the hill there, and they were stopped, and were starting to back up towards me, and they rolled down their window and they said, "Hey, can you tell us where, how to get to Highway 33?" Which this is Highway 33 right behind me. So it turned out to be Mr. and Mrs. Anderson. Thank you very much. They had gone out to church and then taken a Sunday drive, which they like to do a lot, and they just wandered the back roads there, and they weren't exactly sure how to get back out here to 33, so I started telling them, and they said, "Well, hey, you know, don't you want to just get, you want to ride?" So I didn't really expect it to be this far, but I'm appreciative of it, and I'm happy. So thank you very much, you guys. So what's happening here? I get to actually now. It's another one of those nothing happens by chance things. Is this Palmer Junction Road, which I'm on here, is actually on TVA land, Tennessee Valley Authority. And I had wanted to camp on this land here, but the way I have my route built, it just didn't fit. And so I was just going to be crossing through it onto my next camp spot tomorrow, which I'm now going to go past. So nothing happens by chance. And we're on Tennessee Valley Authority land. So I'll just camp out here in the woods tonight. And then the other nice thing too is that just when I come back out tomorrow, I'll turn left, and just probably a half mile up there is a road, a little general store. She said they have good breakfast up there, and I wasn't counting on that, so thank you very much. And I'll be able to restock because I only have enough food for tonight, so that's another nice thing. And so all around, need a Cabito. I just need to find a spot to camp here, and then looks like it'll be nice and protected, sort of, from the rain if it's windy. Let's go see what it looks like. Alright, I think I found the right place here. Let's go take a look and see. I'll show it to you. Alright, a little bit of a lake view here, but the lake's quite down because it's late season, so I'd expect that in the spring it's been much fuller. But anyway, so looks like I'm going to hang up here between these two trees, and they're just the right angle because the wind's going to be coming from that direction tonight when the front blows through. It's going to be about 10 miles an hour, so that gives me a good broadside against the wind. The other thing too is I'm a little bit down, and then I'm in the thick of the trees, so that should break it. And then I do have a little bit of tree cover that will break any ferocious part of the rain that might be coming. So all in all, a nice nothing happens by chance moment. All right, let's get busy and hang this thing up before the rain starts. All right, so here we are, all set up, all protected from the rain that's going to come from that direction over there. And I'll probably put a little bit extra insulation inside because it's going to get down to 39, I think, and so, ooh, that'll be a refrigerator. But yeah, all set up, and right here by the what's left of the water. A lot of trash around here. I'll pick it up before I leave in the morning. Always make your camp cleaner than when you left it, right? And the funny thing too is there's a trash can right there. Why can't people just pick up their trash, huh? Okay, that's it from Palmer Junction on Norris Lake, which is a backup of the Palmer River that was dammed that way a long time ago. I remember reading about the TVA as well, you know, when I was a kid. It was a new thing back then, you know. They had just built it, and so now I get to see it. All right, yay! Nighty night. Well, it was a nice little campsite last night. Ended up raining off and on for a few hours last night, but not too bad. And then I got up early enough to be able to let the tarp dry off, so I didn't have to pack it away wet, so it was nice. Now I'm going to, I don't know why this is closed either. I'm going to head up that road to the left and get some breakfast. Yes, even though I'm starting out a little bit late, well, whatever. And I have no idea whatsoever where I'm going to camp tonight. My original plan for tonight was to camp not too far from here, up on a hill where there's a cell tower. But now that I'm a few miles ahead, I'm going to go past that, and I searched and searched last night along the route to see if there's any place to camp, and I haven't seen any spots, so there looks like a marginal spot tonight behind the Dollar General store. That'll be my first, so we'll see what happens. Well, I got a bunch of miles walking on 33 today, but if it's anything like the other day, should have a nice wide shoulder. But I wanted to show you this sign here. Now these are people that really think a lot about their dogs and their cats, huh? Heated dog, cat, and cat houses. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Huh. All right, let's head down 33 and actually get to walk over the bridge. So that'll be kind of nice. Getting closer. There's that Lake Norris, or Norris Lake, whatever it's called. Getting to the bridge pretty soon. That'll be kind of interesting walking over the bridge, you know. Not just because of the fact that it's a bridge, but I think this will be the widest body of water that I will have walked over on this trip so far. Let's see what it looks like. Well, I was wrong, not Lake Norris, but the Clinch River. Nito Cabito, nonetheless. Now, you might be asking myself, why have I been walking on this side of the road instead of over there facing traffic like I usually do? And that's because there was very little shoulder of the road over there. And now that I'm here at the bridge, I don't want to cross over while I'm on it, so nice and pretty. You know, when you're looking at these things, where they've built a dam and it's made a really nice lake, reservoir and stuff, you also do kind of wonder what it was like before it was here. I mean, I guess you can kind of imagine the rolling hillside and all that, and all the trees and everything. But, you know, I guess it's the balance between trying to be environmental and then also needing to satisfy our needs, whether it's providing ourselves a steady source of drinking water, or a source of power if it's hydroelectric, or protecting us from seasonal floods, things like that. I don't know, kind of torn, but I guess we need them. Although I guess hydroelectric is probably not as much needed nowadays. I mean, you've got solar power and wind power, geothermal, and all that. But it's pretty. Here's another tractor for sale if you'd like it. I think it says $500, but the phone number's not on there. Guess you have to knock on their door. I'm on Highway 33, just south of that bridge where I crossed that river. And I don't know that this place has a name to it, but if you look on your map, Highway 33 and the Clinch River, and then look for this Shell station on the southwest side, then you'll find the door you can knock on to buy that tractor. I think I'm gonna stop here and get me a I don't know, orange juice maybe, or an orange juice, and mix it up with 7-Up, or maybe I'll have my newfound craving of grape soda, huh? Or as in the South, in the old days, they'd call them a grape knee-high. Is that what they would call them? All right, let's see what they have. Well, as soon as I got my health food, Oreo ice cream bar and a grape soda, I saw that they had Slurpee or Icy, whatever you want to call it, and a mango one as well. But anyway, speaking of these grape sodas, Fanta, these are not my favorite. I like the other ones better. The Grape Crush, they have more of a zappy feeling. This Fanta is a little bit more, I don't know if you'll call it subdued or whatever. But anyway, it'll do. Alright, grape soda and ice cream bar. Yummy! And I think I only have about 9.5, 10 miles to go. And I'm going to sleep behind, I think, the Dollar General tonight. Oh, that's what I want to tell you. Is that there's this guy named Al who contacted me back in Michigan, I think it was. He said, hey, when you get over this way, contact me and we'll hike together and you can stay at my house or whatever. So anyway, we've been emailing back and forth every now and then. And so he's going to meet me over in Luttrell tomorrow morning. And we're going to hike for a bit from Luttrell down towards Sevierville. And then at the end of the day, he bought me a motel room. How about that? So thank you very much, Al. We're going to have dinner together, and then I'm going to move on into the next couple days. Sevierville, Pigeon Forge. Oh, what's Pigeon Forge famous for? And Gatlinburg. And then I'm going to go up and over Smokies. And then I think we're going to hit up again when I get over there onto the North Carolina side. So Al, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. All right. In the meantime, it's time for an Oreo ice cream bar and grape soda. Well, this is always kind of interesting to find, although it doesn't happen that often. So I was on Highway 33 there. You can see the cars going through there, coming from this direction. And I was supposed to go to this intersection over here and then turn left. But I found this old abandoned roadway. So I just came along here. Saved me a whole 1/10 of a mile. But still, it's kind of interesting to find these old abandoned roadways, you know. So I've got 5.5 miles down to Luttrell. And maybe I'll camp behind the Dollar General, or I have no idea. So let's see what we find. Cemetery? Why not a cemetery, you ask? Well, because the cemetery is right on the same grade as the road, and there's no trees. So people will definitely see me. And I'll definitely get kicked out, I'm sure. So no cemetery tonight. Oh, speaking of cemeteries, we're coming up to one right now, looks like. All right, 5.5 miles to Luttrell. It always sounds so luscious when I come across water like this. I'd pick some up, but I don't know how clean it is. But it looks nice and yummy, that's for sure. So this is Highway 62 coming into Luttrell. I think I've about 3 more miles, I think. It's kind of pretty here. Past the winery back there. They're building a lot of stuff too, and it looks like they just put some solar panels in as well. So up here in Luttrell, like I said, I might sleep behind the Dollar General. There's a real thin little piece of land that looks like it was an old right-of-way to the railroad. It's got some trees on it, so I'll scope it out. If not, I saw another plot of land a little bit further up that's owned by a marble extraction company. And so, shh, I could trespass. On that property, I saw some woods over there. I don't know. We'll find out. Well, I wondered when I was going to find it on this trip, but I have found the ruraliest of rural backwoods haulers of all places. A lot of shacks. I mean, it's kind of like what you envision when you hear the term Appalachia. And yes, a nice day to you too. Luttrell. Yeah, this has really been a interesting experience this past mile or so. And I've been surprised too on this little road how much traffic there's been. And they just zoom right on by. So Luttrell, Tennessee, I think it's what you would envision when you envision the term Appalachia. Well, once again, nothing happens by chance. So last night I got here to the Dollar General. Say hello to the Dollar General in Luttrell. And I was looking for a place to camp right around the corner there. There's some abandoned railroad property. And so I went to take a look at it, and no way, Jose. Would it work at all? The bottomland all full of thorny plants and all that. So I went over to the church and called them, and there was no answer, so I left a message saying if I could camp there. And then some guy was kind of just driving by over here to the Dollar General. That's Kevin Sexton. Hello there, Kevin. And I was getting ready to go over here into the pizza place. And then he said, "Hey, you hiking somewhere?" So we got talking for just a short minute, and he said, "Hey, I got some land a couple miles out of town, and you can go camp on there." So he took me down to his land, so that was really good out there in the woods. Nice and peaceful with the moon out and Jupiter and Saturn getting close together there. So thank you very much again, Kevin. But then the thing I didn't expect this morning, I was all packed up and just getting ready to head out and say, "Hey, you need a ride?" He had come back in the morning, and so he gave me a ride. I didn't have to walk the 2.5 miles from his place down to town, because I got another surprise for you, but I'll tell you that in a second. So anyway, it turns out that Kevin's a pastor. He pastors a church down here in a few miles away. And he said he got to thinking last night, you know, about what the Lord was saying, you know, when you treated me good and all that sort of stuff. And the people turned around and said, "Well, when did we treat you good, Lord?" And said, "Well, you know, when you did it to the least of my brothers." So that's what got him out here and picking me up. So once again, thanks a lot, Kevin. And then I'm waiting around here at the Dollar General this morning because, well, I'll tell you about that in a second. I told you I was going to give you another surprise, but before I do, it's really nice, these little rolling hills. This countryside here in Tennessee has been very pretty. I mean, a lot of Kentucky was like this, rolling hills and stuff, but it seems there's just something different about this geography here than there is with Kentucky. And I mean, one's not better than the other, but it's just Tennessee's different, as is Kentucky's different from Tennessee. But both of them have been pretty. Now I'm on this place called Mountain Road. The highway was over there at 61, and I like doing these little roads off the highway. You know, you don't have all that noise, everything. So the surprise is coming up. Well, this trip is actually a spiritual journey, just like the last one. Should I go down the spiritual highway and see what it's all about? God, are you calling me down there? But no, wait, here's the surprise. Everybody, I want you to meet Al. Say hello, Al.
Hello there. How are you?
Yeah. So Al and I met each other today. He actually has been in touch with me for quite some time. After I don't know how you came across me.
Hey, you're on YouTube. You're a star.
I'm a star. Okay.
You're a star.
So anyway, we've been emailing back and forth, and he said, "Yeah, we ought to get together sometime." So here we are. We're getting together. He's kind of doing the.
I guess you'd call it a car shuttle.
There you go. He
shuttling back and forth.
Yeah. He moves up, walks back. I walk towards him. We walk back to the car. Howdy.
Party.
Yeah, it's a party. Come on, join us. And so He and I are walking today, and then we're gonna have dinner. And
Yeah, working our way across down towards Gatlinburg.
that's right. And get this, he bought me a motel for tonight. How about that?
No, don't tell anybody though.
Oh.
That's a secret just between you and us.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna head down here on Mountain Road, and then we're turning right on Zachary, and we're going McBee or something like that. And well, we're getting there.
Going cross country. See you later.
So yeah, that was Al, and we're hopscotching. So he drove down here. Like I said, we've been emailing each other back and forth past couple months. And he said, "Yeah, I want to come and hike with you." So he came out here today, and we're hiking together. What he's doing is he's driving the car up ahead 2-3 miles or so, and then he's walking back towards me. Then we'll meet wherever it is we meet, and then walk back to the car, and then he does the same thing again. So it's pretty nice, and also, as you can tell, no backpack. And what I was mentioning to him as well is that my body felt kind of weird at the very beginning. You know, some of my muscles were actually kind of aching and straining, saying, "What's going on here? There's no pack." So different muscles are being used. So we'll be doing this hopscotching today, and then I got a warm place to sleep tonight. So thank you again, Al. And then I believe once I get up and over the mountains in the Smokies there, we're going to meet again. So I think you might see Al again. Yes, you will. Now here's a nice little, they call this a banner or flag on this house here. Couple of dogs enjoying the sunset, I think. Red sky at night, sailor's delight, right? Yeah. They're all ready for Thanksgiving. I like that one with the dogs though. Well, here's Highway 11W, also known as Rutledge Pike, I think. So I came from there. That's eastbound, and this is westbound going into Knoxville, I think. But this is another one of those places where there's an old abandoned roadway. So Rutledge Pike came this way, and then in the old days would come right through here, make a little curve, come right through here, and then go down this way. And here you can see the old abandoned right-of-way, and they planted those trees to, looks like, to screen off the old road. And it's just always interesting, like I said the other day, just to find these little snippets of old abandoned road, and you're walking history, man. A blind hill, huh? That sounds kind of different, you know, when you're driving and you see something like that. That's almost like, did you ever think about this? When you go up to a drive-up ATM and there's Braille on it. Or if you go up to a drive-up McDonald's, well, they're all drive-up, I guess, and some of them have Braille on the menu. This is when you're driving, right? So I guess a blind hill is kind of like somebody who needs Braille when they're driving their car to get money out of the ATM. You know, then you come up to the blind hill and you get to the dead end. That's what happens when you're driving blind. Don't look, but that's the first skunk on both of these walks that I've found that didn't make it across the road. I found plenty of raccoons and squirrels and possums and even a few coyotes and lots of deer. Never come across a skunk till now. And guess what? It didn't stink. So most of you, in fact all of you, probably don't know that on both these walks I've been taking pictures of these roadside crosses. And presumably, you know, they were something where somebody got killed in a traffic accident, but this one's totally different. Look at the message right here, you know?
Yeah, it's...
So, if I throw in another cross or two sometime between now and the end of the trip...
Yeah, I think one every other video or something would be great.
Yeah.
Would be good.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, you gotta...
So everybody pray for that family. They lost their husband and father, and drugs are bad for you, man. So if you're on drugs, you need some help, whether it's drugs or alcohol drugs. You need some prayers for help. Let me know. I've got the time.
Zone, and you can't, you gotta wait here, and
Okay.
they're building a power line and all that stuff.
All right. So what Al is telling you, we had a blast today.
Well, we're trying to stay out of the blast, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're doing some blasting up. It's either up here or down here.
It's up here.
They're putting some power pole. They're putting some power poles in, and so we thought this would,
in the granite rock.
in the granite rock. Yeah. So those things stay up for years and years and years. But since we're in the blast zone, we had such a blast. We're calling it a day after 11 miles, right?
After 11 miles.
All right. So hope you had fun today, and I think it's time to call it quits and go get something to eat.
We're gonna find some food.
That almost looks like a car. Here. All right. First off, thank you very much, Al. Nice to sleep in a bed last night. But another one of those, hey, look at this, an abandoned roadway. So I'm leaving the motel here, and then I come up on this. Look. Right here. You can see there's the old center lane. So the road actually came a little bit closer to the motel here, and so it looks like they I don't know what they did. It looks like they sharpened that curve. It looks like the curve was not as pronounced, and then up there is probably, don't know. This time it looks like they sharpened it instead of straightened it. All right, walking on an abandoned roadway again. Now I'm gonna get something to eat, and then I got, depending upon where I try and camp tonight, there's a pretty good chance of rain. So I might try to go to the high school baseball field again. Or they also have a city park there that's got baseball fields and covered dugouts. The only problem with the baseball field is that at the park is that in the dugout the wall doesn't go all the way down to the ground, so somebody can actually see you sleeping there. So we'll see what happens. Or I might just, instead of stopping at Sevierville, I might head into Pigeon Forge. I don't know. We'll see. See where the wind takes me. Now here's a special treat. You see anything wrong with this picture here? Look closely. What's wrong with this picture?